Welcome to Weektight Conversations.
Hi, welcome. This is the Weektight Conversations, and I'm your host, Corda Tusiime. Weektight is a faith initiative. We have conversations about faith, character, incorporating who God is to us in our daily lives. And today, we have very special people we are hosting. One of them is usually the person seated here in the middle. But today, guys, the host is becoming the hosted. Please welcome with me, Mr. Amutuhaire Samuel, the steward of Weektight.
Thank you, Corda. It's an honor to be hosted in my own house.
Wow, you're welcome.
And I'm excited to have this conversation today.
Right.
Yes.
Let's welcome our other guest. She has been here before, she's not a new face.
Thank you so much, Corda. My name is Martha Ainembabazi, and I'm so glad to be back here on the Weektight Conversations.
So every month we release an article at the beginning, and then in the middle we have a conversation. We have a further conversation about the article. So this month's article was on hygiene and how, beyond it just being cleanliness, it communicates respect, it communicates care. So, Mr. Amutuhaire, what inspired this article? Like, where was your mind at for you to say, actually, we need an article on hygiene?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say that as compared to other episodes, today we are not hosting. We just checked in the bedrooms and got the guys out to have a conversation. We are cleaning house because the sitting room had issues. So I'm not really a guest, neither is she, but we're here to jazz about something that has happened in the family. Yeah, but the inspiration came through conversations, again, that I had with a number of people in the late days of October and the early days of November. And I felt like when it comes to relationships with people, the people we spend days and time with, we talk about many other things. They're easy to talk about. We'll talk about compatibility, love.
What do you bring to the table?
But we don't talk about how we come to the table. Because if you're carrying stuff to the table, the state you're in also matters. So I felt like it could be a relief for some people who are there silent, dying with their partner's issues regarding hygiene. But then also when it comes to our normal daily life, where we work, where we pray from, the people we stay with at home or
a roommate
at campus or in life, I feel like it's one of those things that is really key for us to have a conversation about, hence the inspiration. Especially because, number two, we are kind of at the end of the year. We're about to start hearing those guys sing. The guys?
Yes.
Guys with afros. And I feel like it's usually that time of the year where we want to get back with the people that we know and love and we want to spend time with. It could be family, it could be whatever you call family. So it matters. It really matters. Like the saying used to go, cleanliness is next to godliness. So we can't be Christian and not talk about it. Thank you.
Thank you too. So my next question, you mentioned that usually when we get together, we talk about everything except hygiene. Why do you think that is? Why do we overlook hygiene and yet actually, like how they say it's the small things that matter. I think hygiene is another small thing that's not so small. So why do you think people usually overlook hygiene? Like it's not something I can call you and can we have a conversation about this?
First of all, I think you need to start calling me about hygiene.
Okay.
But then also I think it is something that we study in primary school, high school, somehow we are expected to know that. They assume that we expect everyone to be very hygienic. We expect everyone to know what to do and how to do it. We expect it's something that you really just expect to come naturally by the time your adults are living together. And so I think we end up underlooking or overlooking the conversation, which, as we know now, is not sitting well with very many people. And so many people end up suffering in silence. And then they don't know how to go about that conversation, because ideally you're living with people, you love them, they love you, they have very many wonderful qualities about them, but there is this one other thing. And so you don't know, how do I address this person? He is the provider, he's the head of the family, for example. He is providing very well. The other month on your birthday, you bought your Range Rover, you're in a mansion, but he doesn't flush the toilet. How do I address that to the breadwinner? You get. So I think we find ourselves in a complicated space that we don't know how to go about. And I think really what we are trying to do today is make that conversation something that if you see something and it bothers you, please, how do I go about this? Communicate so that you don't die silently. Because those small things that matter, they are small things, but they are the ones that turn into the big things that break relationships at the end of the day. And someone who, because you didn't talk to them, you didn't have a conversation with them, they're wondering, we have been going on dates. Everything seemed great. I was even planning, I took her to my parents, and now all of a sudden she says she doesn't want, because she visited your home twice, and she's like, I don't think yeah. So I think that shame around it, but also the assumption that it's obvious, is what really limits us from talking about hygiene.
You mentioned it's quite a difficult conversation to have. Have you been in a space where has any of you been in a place where someone's hygiene, it was actually becoming a problem to your relationship, and you felt like, actually, I'm gonna pull this person aside and first tell them, please, let's work something out? Have you ever been in such a scenario?
I think everyone on this earth has been.
Yeah. Okay. How did you go about the scenario?
The issue is the heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you said, it's quite a difficult conversation, and you're even wondering how will we talk about this? I think for me, okay, I wasn't part, but I know someone who was going through that. So the people around them decided to address it as a national issue of like, oh, we need to shower a little more as a household. We need to,
political language.
We all need to wash our underwear as a household. We need to, keep the places clean. But yeah.
But you see, the problem with that political address is that the person you are addressing may not know that you're addressing them. They may assume this is an issue that affects everyone. So everyone needs to check themselves out, not me because I'm perfect. And that becomes an issue. You still suffer the same consequences of not acting right.
Okay, so can you please give us some tips on perhaps having a personal conversation? Have you ever had a personal conversation with someone?
Have I? I probably have, because before we started the session, some said that I'm shameless. So I probably have had the conversation.
Anyway.
But I think for me, yes, I am sure I have had the conversation on small things. And I think why I don't have something that I really remember is because I don't not usually keep quiet over things for long. Usually when it bothers me, I mention
talk about it.
And when you bother someone 3 times, bother them by telling them, friend, this is not working. This is not. Somehow, because they're tired of you telling them about the same thing every day, they could be pissed at you, but they will adjust in one way or another. But I've also learned that how you address that also matters. Because you don't just find someone and tell them, but you have bad body odor. Don't just, who are you? First of all, who are you to them? And have you earned the moral authority to make that communication? Also, what's the tone you're using? What's the place that you're coming from? Are you coming from a place of I want to humiliate this person, or a place of, I care about you and I also care about the people around you. So it would be very good if you thought about this. First of all, go and think about it and see, then adjust accordingly, depending on what you find out.
I like what you said, because actually rebuke, if it doesn't come from a place of love, people usually feel attacked. So yes, I guess first know how to talk to this person, or if you do not have that place, maybe go to someone who is able to talk to the person. I liked what you said about cleanliness is next to godliness. Do you think there is a connection between personal hygiene and spiritual growth or spirituality?
That's true. Before I answer that, let me first add on to what Martha said. I think I've been in such cases very many times. If you've stayed with people, if you've grown up with people, it's inevitable. But I think the first thing always is to examine your motive. Why are you saying this to this person? Because if it's out of malice, then it won't work. But if it's out of genuine care and you want to see someone become better, then that defines how you approach it, like she said. I think, like I said, it's inevitable, but usually the problem is how we communicate these things. You could do the political role, like you've said, but like she said, the exact person might not feel. It's like how we're in church. They preach a sermon. It's for you, but somehow you feel like it's for the other person.
Because the other people who are sinning more than you.
Yes. But then also it's some sort of people-pleasing kind of tendency to want to address things politically.
Talk to people directly.
Yes.
Don't go through the corners.
When you go through the corners, someone is shielded not to think they have that problem. Because I actually noticed that there are some people who don't see what you see as an issue as an issue. So they're okay. They don't even like smell their own odor. It's you who does, and they're okay. So you're talking and they're like, oh, there's someone there. Okay.
That's sad. That person needs to do better.
You see, why I'm saying that is because if someone is like that for 25 years, maybe, just maybe, they don't think it's a problem. So that's why you have to really talk to them directly. But once you've established how the respectable, gracious kind of, also discreetly, not in a group,
put them.
You have your whole team, you stay with it like your armpits. The discreetness there is that you care that, yes, someone should be better, but not at the expense of everyone else judging them for their weakness. But then also, what has been easy for me is to offer solution, not just identifying a problem
and leaving it there.
And I think that's one of the problems or issues that many people have, that you confront someone without a solution. You're assuming that they don't know the issue.
And that's how they end up feeling attacked.
Yes. So they'll feel offended because the way you've come through is not offering support.
You're just tearing down.
Yeah, you're seeing a speck. And maybe, just maybe, there's a log.
And there is usually a log. It may not be a hygiene issue for you.
Yeah.
But when you come, you're telling them about their hygiene and they're like, friend, you're very rude. Yeah. even the visitor who came yesterday talked about it. And,
Yeah, so I think for me, it has been one of those things that I try to do. If I realize you have issues with body odor and we stay together, I'll get you a spray.
All right.
So I'll be like, hey man, this spray is nice.
But you see, sometimes that spray, that body odor issue could be because they don't shower. That spray will worsen things for the community.
That's what I'm saying. That if it's a showering issue, for example, we'll shower together. Not like in the same bathroom, but at the same time.
Okay.
So if we leave, let's say we left church at night and we went home, we are staying together. Be like, you know what, bro?
Yes,
it's time to shower. You go first, I come in.
Yeah.
I will even boil for you water. You don't have a water
I like
heater.
it.
But you see, you don't feel attacked.
Yes.
We are all showering
Oh.
at the same time.
So, question: is that before or after you have the conversation? Or this is just
That's a conversation too.
Okay.
Because if I nurture you to shower every time I'm going to shower,
and that is how you
21 times a lot.
That is how you build moral authority in someonene's life. Because the day they don't shower, you tell them, friend,
today,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it's like it becomes like a thing.
Yes, if it's a mouth odor issue, we'll go together to the supermarket and buy very nice brushes. Yeah. And then I'll tell you, by the way, hey, you're going to sleep. No, let's first brush, man. I take brush the tongue because that's where usually the thing comes from.
Yeah.
So the person feels like we are developing a habit
together
without feeling like heavily attacking them to brush.
Wow.
You get it?
It's very nice.
This is because for us, the way we grew up, that grace wasn't there. You get, you shower or you shower. If you don't and you dare sleep, there will be consequences. You go to boarding school, there was, I think, an evening assembly every day to check.
If you guys had showered,
nice.
They check your...
Just checking
for logistics. So I'm checking for logistics. Which school was that?
I'll not say it, but its motto was work and behave, so you can see. So I think it's in the tactic, it's in the creativity of how you communicate.
It's a very good way.
And then lastly, usually it's about like you offering like continual support so that someone doesn't feel like you talked about it once, you judged them, and now you expect them to perform this activity. Because like I said, some people it's been a habit for a long time, so it has to break. I'll give you an example. There are people who don't have an issue. When we're in high school, we used to put on khaki shorts and and someone would put it on for like 2 weeks. And they don't see a problem with that. Now that grows in them to this age. They are old men, but they might never see the importance of washing their trousers.
They are boxers.
They are boxers, you get. But on the outside, this gentleman looks cool. Now, those are the shocks that sometimes destabilize relationships. So anyway, I was saying offering support even after the conversation.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Now about cleanliness, being next to godliness, there are many aspects to it, but I will say that you can't really have God and you respect him and you disrespect yourself.
His temple.
The Bible says in Ephesians 5 that it was an instruction for, I think it's the scripture we used in the article. It was an instruction for men, husbands. And God was saying that if you nourish your wife, because it says no one really never nourishes their body. Because it's Tiamba. Why? Because if you're nourishing your wife, you're literally helping yourself. You see, as Christ does the same for the church. He is the head, we are the body. So the godliness in cleanliness is that it's attached to the value you give to others and to yourself, and the respect that you give to others and to yourself through cleanliness and hygiene. If I brush my teeth so that you don't, when we're having a conversation, you don't have to hold your breath, or use some deodorant so that if we sit together in the same space for 30 minutes, you are not, or you don't pretend to allow me to enter your house with my shoes because you would rather dirt in the carpet than endure the smell of my socks. Yes. So it's really that. And then secondly, hygiene is not just physical. It's emotional and spiritual too. That if you have bitterness in your heart, if you have all that stuff, you can't have an environment of purity. So yes, and it's evident. Like when you have grudges and issues and bitterness in your heart, it's very hard to have a peaceful environment with whoever you are having those things.
And usually you'll find that those times, okay, at least I have noticed that when my mind is all over the place, my bedroom will probably show how my mind looks like. And the day I wake up and declutter my room, is when I also feel like, okay, now I can think clearly. Things that I couldn't remember, I'm able to remember them. Somehow I'm able to realign my thoughts, functioning like a normal human being. So it's very important for also, if you don't clear your heart of resentment and anger, and that's how we get autoimmune diseases, friends. In jokes like that. So we really need to work both on the inside, clean our inside, clean your heart, clean your soul. And then you're also going to be able to live at peace with those around you. Because like you said, if we are never selfish with our bodies. So if you're able to nourish your own body, then you're able to nourish the body of the people you're living with.
Hali, you said there's like a word that caught my attention.
Autoimmune
disease. What are autoimmune disease?
Is fighting against itself.
All right, guys. Have we learned something new? Thanks.
So when you're angry, release it. Forgive.
Chiambagwela. I like what you said about how when your mind is not, also the place reflects. I think that's the same. Most people, I think, when you have a very dirty environment at home or around you, there's a way you just feel, or just generally, if you're, like if there are dishes in the sink, but there's dust everywhere, there's dirt all around, there's a way you don't feel nice. Like, I think for some people, cleaning is therapy, and it's really therapeutic when you're doing your work in a clean environment, when everything is clean. And also, the latter, what you said about when you're all over the place. I think, for example, some people, when it's quite busy, the dishes, they can pile up, like things get, forgotten. So I think it takes a bit of intentionality to mind about your personal hygiene and the hygiene, of the
sanitation.
Hey, that was called sanitation. Yeah. All right, sanitation. Personal hygiene and sanitation. They go hand in hand. Yeah. You mentioned about keeping the heart clean. And guys, these things are all in our article, which is going to be in the description. So if you'd like any more information after the episode, you can go and read our article. Yes. So how can one help, keep the heart clean? Can we go a bit into that? How can one deal with resentment or bitterness, especially when it's coming from that area of someone around you is frustrating you with, being dirty? Or perhaps I've tried to talk to you about your habit and still, like, more grace is needed, but there's bitterness growing in my heart. There's resentment. How can we help declutter the heart?
The declutterer.
No. Last night I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about forgiveness. And I think we read, I don't remember, Luke. Okay, it will come back to me. But the especially for us believers, the consequence of unforgiveness is Jesus will take you to the jail and hand you over. And they'll give you fire until you finally decide, okay, now it's okay. Let me. So, that's the same parable where Jesus was telling the people that, how many times am I supposed to forgive? 70 times, 70, So you need to be able, first of all, to forgive, because like we already established, you're going to get sick. Autoimmune diseases. But they may not be physically, but that wound is going to fester. And you have to learn eventually, whether you like it or not, for your own good, to forgive and forgive and forgive. If you have talked about this husband of yours, you have a husband in the room. If you have reminded this husband of yours that socks are not kept at the entrance, there is a specific place for them. And still the next week he does the same thing. The next month he does the same thing. Instead of busting because of socks, find a contingency plan. Maybe bring a small laundry basket for socks close to where he usually leaves them. And okay, if he refuses, you also hand him over to Jesus to take him to the jail. But I think it is important to always take these things to Christ. Because after all, He's the one who gives us the grace to forgive. And imagine if He didn't forgive us for all the little things that we did every day that have become big things, honestly, according to Him. If He was keeping count of them, what would we look like at this point? What would our relationship with Him look like? So more grace is needed, I think, like you mentioned before. But also, you need to be able to pray for that person. Because sometimes you're not in position to talk sense into the person you're living with. For example, I have only big brothers. So somehow, because of that, I am at a disadvantage when we come to many things. I am a girl. I am their little sister by very many years. So in their minds, in their eyes, I'll forever be a child. So bringing up some crucial conversations is going to take an adult who is an adult of all of us to actually have that conversation for them to listen, and most probably a man. So I may not have access to those kinds of men every time my brother does something that is that concerns hygiene. For example, brushing, and then you're brushing and you're cleaning your tongue, I think, and then you're splashing those things on the mirror. If it happens every day, I will, of course, fight. I'm like, guys, no, but okay, now you see, okay, you first come and eventually I will not be able, they will just take me that this is a child. Like, after you're a girl. Really, these are, for us, we cleaned for you when you are still young. Automatically, I will not win. But then scripture tells us that God is the one who has the hearts of kings in His hands. You go tell Him, He will turn that heart in whichever direction, like how He turns water in a river. So pray about that. Pray. And we like thinking that when we're going to pray, we only pray about the big things and we ignore the way we don't usually talk about hygiene. I'm sure most of us don't pray about it. We don't pray for our spouses, our family members, our friends regarding hygiene. Yes. But I think we need to make it a habit. Practice praying for even those small but not so small things that affect our day-to-day lives, like hygiene. If you're not able to talk to this husband of yours because he's probably a traditional, typical, macho man, and you can't get correction from you, and then he feels like he has done everything for you. He's in a big position in his spaces with the men because he has the money. Everyone, when he reaches there, everyone bows. They don't address his bad breath issue because they know he's going to sponsor everything. Who are you to come and tell him that he has a bad breath issue? So pray about that. Pray. Take those things to God. He's going to talk to those people Himself.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I think what Mother has said is beautiful. And I'm going to say something that feels weird, but it's also part of life.
Right.
Sometimes there are people that God allows to be in our spaces to work on our character.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard, but it happens. So, for example, the skill of learning how to communicate hard things can only be learned in such a situation. You're not
After
going
you have been
to
banned
communicate
because
the
you
hard
go with your energy the first time, the second time, then you have to learn.
So it's just the other side of the coin that maybe, just maybe, God is doing a work in you, character-wise, communication, leadership, etc. Because if you can learn to manage such people and they change, that's leadership. You've influenced them to become better people without ruling over them. Because sometimes humanly we expect if I say something, it goes. If it hasn't gone for the third time, fourth time, you now start thinking about other ways of getting your brothers to brush well without being too rude. And because the earlier method was they clobber you, but you're not going to beat you. That's the thing about adulthood. That the things you could have learned by Chiboko, now you have to use leadership skills to learn them. Yeah. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Thank you. For when Miss Gift was speaking, something came to mind on modeling, like how you say doing it together. I think even in the case of if someone is leaving their socks, perhaps pick them up and put them in a basket. Pick them up, put them in a basket. Or there's something I listened to of, I think a gentleman was sharing. He would put the glasses. Okay, he would. The wife would leave out the glasses. He would come, put them back where they're supposed to be. Remove the glasses, put them back. So after a time, I think it also registers in your mind that actually the glasses, they're supposed to be in this area. The socks are actually supposed to be in the basket. The toilet is supposed to be flushed. Okay.
That can go one of two ways.
Yeah.
Someone might think there is a magician. These things just vanish. Like, have you?
Okay.
I watched a video recently. I'm sure very many of us have watched the same video. This gentleman, he was telling his wife that, you know what? I think there is like a magical power here. Every time I put dishes here, like I eat pizza, leave the pizza box here, I come back in the morning, it's gone.
Wow.
And sometimes I even was like, this is miraculous. Let me try and exaggerate this time. And he left the whole place cluttered. And the next morning, everything was gone. And he's telling his wife, it's like, it's not
the magician.
Yeah, like it's not even just those boxes, even laundry. I've noticed. Even the dishes in the sink. I have not. You need to have these conversations because you could be a magician in someone's life.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, okay, I think most of us, like how you said, they used to clobber you when you were young. So were some people not clobbered? Or it's just a difference in raising?
Yeah, sometimes it's really, there are very many things that hang on parenting. Very many, especially how we turn out to become later on in life. Parenting and upbringing contributes so much. And I think hygiene is also part of those things. I was privileged to stay with an auntie and uncle of mine when I was in primary 6. And that's the age, I think I was like 10, 9. I learned everything, like 80% of my hygiene story was learned in that house. How to peel, cook, and wash saucepans inside out. How, you get it? How to wash every day. Because you get what I'm saying. So you wake up in the morning, prepare tea to pack and take to school, but you have to leave when you washed the saucepan you used to cook. And then even after washing, how you place the things on 80%. How to wash your own clothes. If you pee on the bed, how to wash your own bed sheets.
You are peeing on the bed in P6.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Taking the mattress out, make sure it dries, and you pick it back to your bed, lay it.
It's
all
your
those things.
Yeah.
There has to be someone making you do them at an early age. Now, when you grow and you're 20 or 18 or 15, a teenager, really, at that level, it's a bit too late to bend a kid to learn certain things if they didn't learn them at an earlier stage down there.
Age.
So it really matters. But there's always another opportunity in life that you will meet people who will try to help
improve you,
format you in a way.
You get like to edit your craziness. It might not be too much, but you will learn because you see, it's really sometimes really about habits. And if you can do something for 21 or 30 days, you will capture it. If you've not been showering and someone starts to make you shower for 30 days, it will.
And then also, I think we also need to, because someone might think that they need, for them to actually up their game, they need someone who is going to really make sure that they do those things. But we have reached a point, especially in adulthood, when you reach a certain age, honestly, all the issues that you have, you can't blame anyone else for them. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame your spouse. It is up to you to take responsibility and get better. If you have a body odor issue, it could be medical. Go and get checked and get treated. Maybe you have done everything that you can. You're washing every day. You are brushing the way the dentist tells you to brush. But somehow there is something that is just not, please go and get checked. Invest in your health, because that is you're literally investing in your relationships if you invest in that. Because some people are scared of sitting close to you because you smell, my friend. Some people are scared of hosting you in their homes because you will leave them a mess. They're the kinds of people who go to Airbnbs. You find someone's house spotless, and then because you're paying 150,000 for a night, you leave it with brown things that we don't understand in the toilet, on the walls. What's that like? Yes, on the walls. Can you imagine? I think we need to really take responsibility. Also, even if someone has not said that there is something about there are steps that we have to learn to take. When you're going out, make sure you have used the deodorant. If you're not sure of your breath, because you're going to be among people, even if you have a clean slate of wonderful, take mint. Take mints in your bag, so that when you're going to meet people after eating fish for lunch, you have a mint, and then people are not running away.
Because it's not even about what you've eaten. It's really about being quiet for long.
Yeah, true.
Your mouth is shut for 6 hours. You're working. Then you open it once like this.
As person to approach you.
All the insects die.
Mercy.
Yeah, so I think it's important for us to really take responsibility of our hygiene. Whether you have a chronic issue or not, please wash your clothes, because you could be showering every day, but you're repeating shots for 3 days. You will smell. Then there are ladies, we have that one black bra. Please wash it. Please wash it.
All right, guys. Please wash your bra.
Buy a second and a third black. Black bra, because
yeah.
Mix them up. Which one is it?
Black bra.
Yeah. Fire. Yeah, but please wash that bra. Buy it a sister and a cousin, so that you can always switch them up, because you're going to smell for people. You will sweat, and then you're wondering, you have the best perfume ever that costs a lot of money. The deodorant you're using is on point. You shower every day, but because
it gets overwhelmed.
The undergarments, guys.
We're talking about men's boxers, ladies. Let's wash our bras. I'm not sure, but many of us don't have an issue with washing the other undergarments, but that bra, the black one is different.
Wow.
Can't tell a bad story about it. Sometimes we were, when you're doing laundry and someone made a joke, like she got a clean bra and she was like, ha ha ha, this bra's finally seen water, because like it's actually no, that's how they have said men it's with their boxers or repeating their pants. With ladies it's really the bra, so
repetition syndrome.
Repetition syndrome. She has given us some good advice. I think most ladies are taught about personal hygiene. They embed it in our minds that you're actually, supposed to be clean more than the gentlemen. Can you please just say something to your fellow brothers out there on how to help themselves, if indeed, like I've said, it's mostly the ladies that are taught you have to dress properly, you have to look nice, you have to, work on yourself, especially in that area. And it's mostly mothers, women are the makers of homes. So, and it looks a certain, like when a man is dirty, I think
it's usually the problem with the mother also.
Yeah. What an attack. Anyway, yeah. But for most men, it's like how you've said, you know how to cook, you know how to peel, you know how to clean. I don't think most men have that. I don't think most men have the background of they were clobbered when they didn't shower. It's mostly the girls who are like, it's you who is told to clean, it's you who's told to wash. A girl can't look like that more than it's, told to the men. Yeah, so
I totally understand, and I think it's a very unfortunate disadvantage that now it feels normal for men to be untidy, and that if they visited your house as a single man and it's disorganized, then you're a real man.
Fire.
And then if your house is clean, then you have OCD. You get
everything is at right
yeah,
angles.
it's considered a disorder
You're like
when a
as
man
if
is clean.
anomaly, yes.
You
Like how I'm
get it?
saying, you know how to
It's really
do all
unfortunate, but I think like I started earlier, God, I usually want to have a picture of how Eden looked like. I don't think it was a disorganized garden. You get, because the Bible says he looked at everything he had created and he said it was good. Even after creating man, he does perfect stuff. Every good and perfect gift comes from God, the Father. So definitely, he didn't create a man disorganized. It's hygiene to be clean, to be organized. It's hygiene to take care of your body. It's hygiene to brush your teeth, wash your face, lay your bed, you know. One day I sat with one of my mentors who is a lady. I think it was around 2017, 18, and she asked me, how many boxers do you have? I was dazed. I think I'd just left campus, so I was still figuring out life. So I had like 3 faithful ones. You put on, wash, it dries, by Friday it's dry, you're about like that. And she told me, how many pairs of socks do you have? I don't want to say.
You had one black
But you get what I'm saying. And she tells me, now I can understand that she was elevating my attitude. And she told me, a man should not have less than 10 boxers or 10 pairs of socks, so that if you put on the whole week, you still have surplus for a few days in case the weather is terrible and they're not dry. So she don't put on a boxer that is not dry, etc, etc, etc. So I tried it. No, she gave me money. Alright. She told me, see what I was talking about, support? So she gave me money, she told me go and shop. So I went, bought 10, like she said, bought 10 pairs of stockings and vests and what, and I loved the idea. After 3 months, I noticed that it's really never about money. It's not that you don't have the money to buy these things. It's the attitude. When you start to see yourself, to value yourself or respect yourself that way, you realize that's the easiest way to respect others. Because we had guys in high school who would put on the same boxer for the whole week. And on Friday, if you're playing football, Friday after class, you find like a whole pitch with different sections of order. Because there's a guy running there, it's been like 6 days, there's another guy here, you get it? Like, bro. But then I didn't get it until now you go and you realize, okay, no, this is not because you don't have money or because your mother didn't tell you. Like she said, there's a certain level where you stop blaming everyone else
around you.
I slept on a decker with a guy. His school stockings, we'd never had mosquitoes in our corridor.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well, partly yes, but
Lord.
no.
They were scared of him.
They
just
died.
got it.
Like all the time. They cross in our corridor.
They die. He
had,
but you guys were surviving.
You know,
I'd
human
like to
beings
know
are
how.
interesting.
Yeah, very strong creatures.
The 4 months, he was a footballer.
But there was no malaria, so there is that.
But you can get stomach issues over time. Again, that smell after you've left the dormitory like at 3 a.m. to use the washroom and you come back in. That situation.
Mixed with a lot of bad gas.
God help us. But I think for the men, we just have to understand that it's not too much to ask for you to be hygienic. It's not. because even when God was establishing the temple, giving instructions to Aaron and Moses and stuff, there were some hygiene things there. He dressed like this, use this color. There was a reason why. So I think it's really a question of attitude. If, for example, you are a gentleman and you have a wife and you stay with a person in the house, honestly, okay, if you are alone, you might not smell whatever it is. But if you are with someone else and you're going to sleep in the same bed with them, think there should be the courtesy of thinking about the other person to say, okay.
I like that. I have a friend, married friend, very wonderful lady. And there is something that she said recently, and I was like, when she said that, I was like, I don't think I was ready for marriage until this moment, now that I know. So she visited me, and like in the evening tea, I'm like, should I make for you some eggs? She's like, no, I can't eat eggs at this time. I'm like, why not? She's like, because I am almost going to bed, and I need that gas to be out of me by the time I go to bed, because I'll make my husband uncomfortable. I'm like, wow, to be married to such a woman, because if I was married at that point, my husband,
he would be uncomfortable.
My husband
But it takes self-awareness.
It was, and also I think it's not even about self-awareness in that moment. I don't think that is about self-awareness. It's about consideration.
And yes, you're considering him primarily because you know yourself. Because maybe eggs don't do that to everyone,
other people.
Yes.
But she knows herself enough to say.
I don't think, at least from what I have learned from her, it's not even about that her stomach is going to react to those eggs. But because she knows, it's like when you eat eggs and beans, she knows what happens.
Time bomb.
It may not happen to everyone. Not everyone's stomach may react like that, but you know what is capable of happening. So because of that, she's like, no, I don't want to put my husband through that tonight. I'm like, okay, that's nice.
That's honorable.
After that point, now I learned. My husband, don't worry.
Good for you.
Oh, yeah. Flow.
Wow.
I like it. I like it so much. I know that sometimes there are perfectionists in that cleanliness area. Like, I think there's some people who actually have some OCD.
That's true.
How can there be a balance, especially maybe for people who are living with someone who is actually quite OCD, but they're not on them, but they're doing their best, but this person has another level. How can you help bring grace into such a situation? And by me, I'm not very perfect, but I'm very perfect. And then this side, I'm really trying. I'm not cups have to face this side, or very precise in the way you're folding your clothes. But these people, like the other side, is trying. I think that can also bring a bit of.
It can if it does, but if it doesn't, I mean, why not? Right. If you have someone who is that perfect and they are not complaining, let them be. If they are in the cups, don't you like it? When you see
I might not be able to put them, but it looks nice.
Like what I'm saying is, if it's not bringing issues, it's fine.
Okay.
But if it's bringing issues in a way, then it's important to have a conversation. Yeah. Because that's why we learn temperaments. You're different, I'm different. Can we meet in the middle? Yeah. Talk. And that's the thing that many couples and many friends and many families don't actually have conversations. We talk about everything else outside ourselves. I am frustrated because every time you guys enter the house, you put your shoes here. And I don't like it. We will know that you don't like it.
Yes.
So every time I'm about to put the shoes, I'm like, Martha will kill me. Because she talked.
Yes. You're not mind readers.
Yes.
I like that. There are so many people who are, there's somewhere, there's a lady I listened to, and she said humans were not meant to read between the lines. We're, supposed to say out the lines, because most times we assume with passive aggression that this person will know what I want. But I like the fact that, you've encouraged us to actually talk about it And I liked how you said it also. I am frustrated. I read somewhere that when we're addressing issues or someone has made you feel a certain way or they have done something, I don't start, you leave your shoes here. Like, I don't attack you. That I put it on myself that I'm frustrated that you leave your shoes here. I don't feel loved that you don't flush the toilet, yet you know someone else is going to come and also use the toilet. I don't like it that you leave your used plates and cups on the table for the magician to come clean.
I'd like to add something about what Sam said. If there is this person who likes everything at right angles, but it hasn't caused an issue, then that's okay. But on the flip side, friends, if your roommate tells you that every time you come and correct, she has left her cup facing, because I have one of my big brothers is an organized person, but not that typical right angles. So sometimes we stayed together when I was beginning campus in my first year, and when because ladies, you find someone has put their vests like this because he knows they are 5 days in a week going to wear this and they are clean.
Yeah.
But for you, they don't look
Very
nice there.
organized.
I want them to be here. So sometimes it's like, you see, I like that you're a very organized person. But even when you think I am disorganized, try to learn the environment. You will find that there are things that are in the same place all the time and they're not bothering anyone. Then he said, I am organized in my own disorganization.
Oh dear.
Honestly, they were not cluttering the place. But there is why I felt like, no, for me in my mind,
it looks nice this way.
Yeah, it looks nice this way.
All right.
His way is not working. So we need to also learn to accommodate some things. Most of these things, especially in spaces that we share, some of these things are not deal breakers.
Yeah.
But because we are stuck to the way we have always known things to be done, and we forget that we are from different backgrounds, some of the things are really just poor hygiene. But if it is not, why are you going to have an issue with your roommate, with your husband for life? Because for him, he wants a chair, his chair to face like in this position as he's playing video games. Or you're like, no. This chair,
nice,
yeah, it doesn't look nice. It's not matching the color palette. Oh, friends, we also need to learn to accommodate those things.
Yeah.
Because, like some said, we have different temperaments, we have different personalities, we have different backgrounds. So yeah, we have to. There are things that we really can accommodate, and there are things that you may not be able to accommodate for life, but you adapt pola as you also learning to live with this person. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Let me turn to our audience to ask if they have any questions for us. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Okay.
Question.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
So I can start? Okay. I have 2 questions. The first one, we have talked about a group of people who have poor personal hygiene, but perhaps don't know. So we're saying, we should speak to them, advise them, and put them in line. There is that group of people. Then there is a certain group of people you have left out. There are people who are aware that they're disorganized, they're messy, they have poor personal hygiene, but they struggle with it like any other person can struggle with any other weakness. You get home at 10 p.m. and you're like, I would really love to shower, but I want to sleep. You organize your closet very perfectly on a Sunday. By Tuesday, it's already zigzag. There is that group of people, they really know, I want to do better. I want to maintain a clean house. I want to smell nice. I want to do things perfectly. But then they struggle with it as a weakness. So that group of people, could we give them some remedies they could implement in their day-to-day lives so that they're able to achieve that discipline of being clean, organized, with proper hygiene, and so on and so forth? Then my second question, we have talked about the basic hygiene, brush your teeth, shower, lay your bed, But I believe we all know that for some people, that's not enough. It's not enough. Some people have to go the extra mile. Okay, it's a question, but it's also more or less like a contribution.
Yes.
And when we were growing up, there were some traditional remedies that used to work for some of these people. Some people actually shower. Like they legitimately shower, but then they still have a bad body odor. And it might not necessarily be a medical issue, but maybe our bodies are connected and wired differently.
Yeah.
And when we were growing up as girls, they used to give us a plant called a bombo to shower, and it would work. Okay, I don't know if this can be considered as witchcraft, but
no, it's not.
But yeah, I remember as an adolescent girl, matrons, and they used to give us that plant, and it used to work. Then also when a lady has a bad odor coming from her private parts, I have heard that rainwater helps.
So what happened in the dry season?
I don't know what the science is.
Paraffin, fire.
But I know it helps. Then also now presently, when someone has a bad body odor, they're advised to shower with vinegar. Okay, that sounds more legitimate. It doesn't sound like
sounds more Gen Z.
They're advised to shower vinegar, and it helps. So now my request is that since you're the ones discussing the topic, we know some of these remedies, if we could air them out to our audience. And, is it okay to do some of these things if it's going to help, or should we stick to the basic?
Now,
personal hygiene.
I'd like to, I don't know much about the science of vinegar, so I'll leave that question to. Yeah. But on the first question, I think one of the things that I would advise, and I know works, is to not wait for things to pile up. For example, you don't have to wait to organize your closet on a Saturday. You could try, like, on a Tuesday, after removing a number of clothes, maybe you had an outfit planned out for the day, but when you wore it, it didn't give what you wanted it to give, and then you leave it on the bed. It's going to, Gen Z. Yeah. It's going to eventually, if you keep piling them up like that, by Friday, you'll be overwhelmed. Your bed is going to look like a pigsty. And obviously now that also reflects how your mind is going to look like. So for me, what I know has worked, at least for me, is to not to wait for 2 weeks to clean out my closet, to declutter my closet, to clean things in the sink. You have dishes in the sink and you think in that moment you're very exhausted, forgetting that when you come after 3 days, when you've been adding, you're going to look at them. Just looking at, for me at least, just looking at them exhausts me before I clean them. And yet if it's just one cup and one plate, washing them just takes a minute. So I think it's a discipline that you have to build, obviously, intentionally, but don't wait for things to pile up. Because when they pile up, at least I know for me, if my bedroom is disorganized and I come from work exhausted, looking at that bed is going to just exhaust me the more. Therefore, I will not touch anything. I'll just go shower and at least that's what I used to do at campus. I just shower and find a way into my bed. But then I learned that now, when my bed is cleared, even when I'm exhausted, because I can see a bed waiting for me, very neat, I'll find the morale to now go and shower so that I come and enter clean sheets. Yeah. Small habits, you build up, and pola you achieve a discipline.
I think on also building habits, what might work is having someone to help ask you if you're doing the thing.
Accountability,
because there's like how he said, you won't put shoes there because they communicated, I don't like shoes there. Even in your mind, you'll be like, this person is going to ask me if I did this. What answer am I going to have? So I think that helps in keeping your habit, because it's not easy to build a habit, but also maybe reminders to do certain things. I have many reminders, but most days they work. So I think reminders are also helpful of hey, at this time is what I should be doing. Even if the alarm rings and you don't do that thing, it's still at the back of your head. I had to do this, I had to do this, I had to do this. So for those who work with programs, I think having some reminders can help to fix the time issue. But also in those days where you feel like having someone to keep you accountable or encourage you, and even on the days where it might not work, offer grace to yourself and keep saying, I'm actually going to, my discipline is going to grow. Offer grace to yourself even as you learn how to do better.
Yeah, I think I'll also add something small. Firstly, for the local remedies, we have people who can support on the right things to use, because it's also a very risky ground to trade. I know that they are really, I don't know why they call them local. Maybe local in the sense that it's what we have
African.
here. Yeah. But they work. I've seen them work for people, even when we were babies. Showering. Yeah, those things. It's not witchcraft, as long as it's not, they are not being used for a ritual. But God created plants and stuff like that they could offer healing when you read Genesis. So there's stuff that works. Lemon, for example, for armpits, but also for the face, tomatoes, etc. And many other deep things I don't know. But they are there. Those grannies we forgot about, they have a lot of science in their head. Yeah, so I personally feel it works as long as it's for a ritual. Discipline, what I've learned is that discipline grows like from small wins. You can't say from today and forever I will shower. It will never work. But if you say every day I will shower at this time, Atomic Habits, I actually recommend that book. Beyond Hygiene, that book really helps you to develop certain habits and maintain them. So you learn the consistency of doing small things, but consistently. And I think finally around that, you learn to attach value to those activities. Like we have emphasized, hygiene is equated to self-respect and value addition. So you stop looking at folding your clothes as, a chore. It's, I respect myself enough to have my wardrobe organized. When you see things from that perspective, you'll find yourself doing them. It's really a psychology thing. Like she said, if you enter your house and it's totally disorganized, your brain feels tired.
You just shut it
immediately because everything is here. Yet, if that's why our mothers at some point would say today is clean up day. You go to every bedroom, every store, you even change the cooking stones, their direction, you sweep the everything. And then after like at 5, all of you are dead, you're tired. You're like,
feel refreshed. You're tired but refreshed. Yes.
Every rat is dead. You know where everything has been placed. It really refreshes. So when you attach the activities of hygiene to self-worth and respect, they cease to be burdens. Number 2, if you feel like God has blessed you enough and you're able to facilitate someone to do certain things, please do. You don't have to struggle to wash your clothes every time because you're busy. So if you have 10, 15K that you can bless with someone to wash those clothes, please do. You have to kill the pride of I have to wash for myself because
they don't feel clean if
but you're not washing. Not because you don't want, but you're busy. Okay, buy a washing machine. If you can't, bless someone who can support in that area. If you're tired of mopping your house, there are people who are willing to do it at a cost. Very small cost. So there's always ways around how to make this work. Yeah, just really to have someone not discourage themselves. Because we are talking here, but we get busy. You get busy, you can have a very tough week. And Friday you're like, whose house is this? But there's always ways around it. So like she said, you don't overjudge and blame yourself and say, no, I think there's always ways around it. I hope it answers.
Also, Christ tells us, blessed are those who mourn. There is a reward in suffering, but not that kind of suffering. The suffering that is rewarded in scripture is the suffering persecution for Christ. That suffering of you must wash clothes and then your hands are. Please find someone to do that work for you. Yeah. God is going to reward you like the shrewd manager. You're able to secure time and still get things done.
True.
You're able to secure energy and still get things done. You're able to have more time for the other kingdom things while also blessing another person's life with dinner for that day or school fees for their children. Just because of clothes, please, or cleaning your house. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have talked about several different things. Thank you so much for your insights. Just a few highlights. I think one of them is self-awareness. If the self-awareness, you've not yet come to that point, if someone points out an issue and is willing to help you grow in that area, please take that step. Take the responsibility to actually handle your personal hygiene. Like we've said, there reaches a point where you can't blame anyone. And for those who are struggling or have people struggling, if you as a person you're struggling, please offer grace to yourself. Do your best, but offer grace. And for those who have partners, friends, people you're living with, offer grace to them and to yourself to be able to help them, walk that journey. Be willing to offer forgiveness also, even as, we grow. Is there anything that you would like to add as we close?
Just one thing. In a world where we are staying and are going to spend time with people, whether family or friends or partners, hygiene is like one of the purest ways to say, I see you, I respect you, and I care about your comfort. I care about the convenience of you being comfortable in a space where both of us are. But even beyond that, it shows how you see yourself as an individual. So how you look, how you smell, how you carry yourself tells us so much about you. Yes. So we don't have to ask you. We can see it. So it's one of those things that going forward, we need to pay attention to and really appreciate.
Thank you.
Closing remarks. Okay. Maybe two things like we have shared in the whole conversation. I'm sure by now we have picked out at least the fact that cleanliness, hygiene is not something that you inherit. When you see people who are very hygienic, they didn't inherit that thing. They didn't inherit those habits. There are things that we learn. It is a discipline that we learn. So like Corda has shared, give yourself grace, but also intentionally build that discipline. And then another thing, godliness calls us to excellence, not perfection. So give yourself grace. If you are not having everything at right angles in 1 week because you decided that you're going to be a clean person tomorrow, give yourself grace. And remember that every act of care, when we are helping other people, every act of care, every time you lend a hand to someone, every time you offer guidance, every time you hold their hand and decide to walk the journey with them, every single act like that is an act of worship, as long as we do it in love. Don't always aim to, because you've told someone 3 times and they're not changing, don't now wake up and decide to be malicious and humiliate them. Remember that act of care done with love is an act of worship, and every act of life is an act of worship. True. So we should aim at worshiping God in our everyday things, how we live with our spouses, our friends, our family members, and our workmates.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like that you made reference. I think the verse is in Romans where it says that we should offer our lives as a living sacrifice to God, because God is interested in every single detail of our lives, even how our bodies are doing, how we're smelling, how we're keeping ourselves clean. And I'd like to offer this opportunity to anyone who has not accepted Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior. This is your opportunity to bring into your space a God who cares about every single detail of your lives. And so if you've not yet accepted that loving God, please take this opportunity to say this prayer. Say, Lord Jesus, I receive you in my heart. I accept that you are my personal Lord and Savior. I accept that you died for my sins, that you love me enough to give your life for me. Yes, I'm allowing to be part of your family. I'm allowing you inside my heart. If you have said that prayer, you are born again. Welcome to the family of Jesus Christ. Welcome to, this place of a God who cares about every single detail of our lives. Thank you for listening in today. If this episode is a blessing to you, please share it, like it, spread it to everyone. Share it among your friends. If you feel like you want to send a subtle message or a not so subtle message, please share. Please share this episode. And until next time, who is God to you today?